I don't look forward to reading these comments. I don't. In fact, I don't think I will. But here you go. If you call a woman a man, are there damages? If you post, even more appropriate, that a woman is a man, then are there damages? It's a real question. It's a real issue. It has gathered up the most interesting trifecta of people you could come up with. But I have to say this again, and I would like to say maybe this will be the last time this discussion even happens, but I don't think so. I'm running out of material, and I'm running out of different ways to say, I don't get it. What's your problem? I've not understood from the very beginning, and the very beginning was this: knuckle-headed politicians, okay, pandering, scummy, vote-getting politicians whose only existence, my opinion, is to keep that job. Why this stuff works is so disturbing. Why you let this work is beyond me. I've not understood it from the very beginning, but it's not new. But from the very beginning, when the politicians were selling you this issue, the governor of Texas even introduced legislation about this non-issue. I mean, I just sat there in amazement as he's surrounded by people acting as if your kids were being violated every minute of every day. But why are people, in particular, I mean, really, not everybody, but in particular, right-wing media in this case, why are you so fixated on the issue of transgendered athletes in sports, so fixated that you're falling all over yourselves to scream an Algerian boxer? Think that through. When this first came up, I go, are you really trying to pretend that you're upset about an Algerian female boxer? Most people don't even know where Algeria is, and you're acting as if it's your kid's elementary school. Are you sure about this? And man, you kept screaming at me. You don't get it. No, I don't get it. What's wrong with you? Like, really? You had to go here. So you're falling all over yourselves. A lot of people are falling all over themselves. And I mean instantly falling over themselves to label an Algerian boxer as a man. An Algerian boxer of all things. You acted like, right-wing media acted like, people so quick, so fast to respond, to react, to throw out whatever hot take you had. I mean, you just in an instant, just react. And so people acted like it was an elementary school volleyball team of LeBron James spiking on little girls in Cedar Park. That's the way you acted. You were so quick to jump on the female Algerian boxer's a man. Jeff, you suck. You went nuts on social media, and now she's not only suing, these are criminal complaints of harassment, which is a whole discussion to have by itself, by the way. I mean, that's even better. That's an even better and more realistic discussion to have, taxpayers. Not that your daughter is playing some dude in volleyball. Let it go, man. It's not happening. But now look at it. It really is an honest. I mean, this is an honest question. I think I know the answer, just because if when in doubt nowadays in the world of politics, it's not about politics. It's not about taxes. We don't scream about taxes anymore, do we? We don't get worked up about taxes. Hell, we don't get worked up about war. We get worked up about stuff like this that is a non-issue. This is what makes you mad, really? This is what gets people, high-profile people, famous people, one of whom wants to be president, people worked up. This is it? And now look. Why do you want it to be true so badly? Like, I didn't understand the very beginning. Why did you want this to be true so badly? Why? I mean, basic fear-mongering, okay, that's the way things work now. But what really was the goal? What did you think? What do you think was going to happen with all this? Did you really buy the absurd claim that we've got to keep our daughters safe? Do you really buy that? And I'm a parent myself, by the way. I really don't want anything terrible to happen, of course. Do you really buy that? Really, if you sit down and think it through, are you really buying that stuff? So, I mean, this is the pressing safety issue of the day for our kids. You know, in a state where they were slaughtered in a classroom. This is our pressing issue of the day. And we used past tense and got it wrong, an Algerian female boxer as our example of the day. That's where we are. Man. I mean, I get that you're on a nonstop quest, not a nonstop quest for real safety issues, not a nonstop quest for tax issues or war issues, a nonstop quest, like a triggering mechanism to find wokeness, I guess. I guess that's what this is. It's like you're going to find wokeness, even if it gets you sued, or now worse. Can you blame her? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I'm in the media space. I'm not a big fan, of course, of people, throwing lawsuits around for stuff that you say. But I don't know. Maybe this is legitimate. Maybe, just maybe, we ought to think this seriously. I'm not talking about getting it wrong about the Algerian boxer. I'm lost on your argument that says, Jeff, I need to find this. This had to be right. This had to be right. I'm going to go crazy, Jeff. Watch me go crazy. You're so quick to get worked up about this non-issue. That's part of it. The other part is, I don't know. Maybe this is the right legal avenue. I hope not, but maybe you think it is. It's a very, very weird day when you can have, what a group. When you can have J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and I think one of those knuckleheaded Paul brothers, the boxer or whatever, all mixed up in a criminal complaint. That's quite a day. So here's another thing. And again, I wish this were more of a discussion we would have, other than the crazy, over-the-top, misguided, stupid overreaction about transgendered athletes in sport. It is dumb. It is add 500 zeros in front of it. It doesn't happen. And if you're worried about safety, start in 1,000 other areas, please. Please, taxpayers. But the other part of this is, I don't know how many people are going to say, yeah. That is harassment, and yeah, we ought to have similar laws here. Maybe think that. Okay, so France and most of Europe have far more stringent laws governing media and speech, especially in the digital space. And there are far fewer protections, legal protections, and far more stringent laws that give them a lot of latitude in a number of ways, including making what we would typically think of as civil cases, their ability to make them criminal cases. We could argue. I don't know what the answer is yet. I suspect she could make a pretty decent argument if this were happening in this country. If this had been the LA Games, then her attorney, this is the Algerian female boxer, who's a woman. Okay, I know you may not still believe that, but that's pretty much the case. She might make an argument in a civil case that she's lost wages, lost endorsements, and I think you could see that. You can see that. But the fact that it happened in Paris now takes this to a criminal case. So there are just far fewer protections when you go knucklehead, hear that, knucklehead online. In fact, wrongly labeling this Algerian boxer as a male is classified as harassment, which is criminal. And by the letter of the law, it might be. It's technically cyber harassment. And in this case, they're claiming that would be a criminal case. I don't see it ever happening just because the people named, but I don't know. You get the idea. So another part of this would be, would you like this kind of stuff in this country? We have civil damages, but this is a different game altogether. I'd say, of course, be careful what you ask for. Our courts would be full if we were running around making these criminal cases. We wouldn't have enough courts to have space for all these cases. But here you go, in case you didn't hear about this. And I hope you're stuck on my original question. Why do you care so much? What are you looking for? Why are you so worked up? I hope you're stuck on that, because I don't know. I don't get you. All right, here we have it. Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling named in Iman Khalif's cyberbullying criminal complaint in France. This is from Yahoo Sports. A lawyer representing the Algerian boxer confirmed that Twitter owner Elon Musk, I was about to say X, but remember if I do that, the producer freaks out. That Twitter owner Elon Musk and author J.K. Rowling, two of her most prominent critics on social media during her gold-winning campaign in Paris, would be named in a criminal complaint to French authorities over alleged, quote, acts of aggravated cyber harassment. I mean, you know, we want to start talking about libel and defamation. I mean, I can do that with you, but she was labeled. You said, in fact, she's a man. I mean, you acted as if it was fact. I mean, she'd probably win a libel case. Probably. She'd be proven damages and stuff like that, but she might win a libel case against these folks. The complaint was posted to the Anti-Online Hatred Center of the Paris Public Prosecutor's Office. Musk and Rowling might only be the start of targets for Khalif, as the structure of the lawsuit gives prosecutors freedom to investigate anyone for harassing her, including former President Donald Trump. Oh, boy. Oh, my. You know what? I can just see this. I can see this happening behind the scenes right now, right? He's got a team of campaign managers trying desperately to get that dude reined in, to not be the lunatic that he is, to say, please, sir, you're going to end up blowing this whole thing. Could you get focused for just a minute? And the minute he hears about this, he's going off. Right? I mean, you can just set your watch to it. He hears this. If Team Harris is wise, and I think they are, because they played this dude perfectly, they pump this story out, naming Trump in it nonstop, because he'll take the bait and go crazy. That's my political theory to this. But he could also be named in this criminal complaint. Does anything come of it? I don't know. I pretend that you know French law. I don't. I doubt it. But this is what the complaint says. J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are named in the suit, among others, adding that Donald Trump would be part of the investigation. Oh, gosh. Trump tweeted, so whether or not he is named in our lawsuit, he will inevitably be looked into as part of the prosecution. Oh, my. Like I said, if I'm Team Harris, I put this out right now. I bait him because he'll go off on it. I actually, maybe at some level, don't blame him. She officially filed the complaint Saturday, one day after she won the gold medal in the women's 66-kilogram division. Rowling, who has become one of the most vocal anti-transgender voices on social media, tweeted repeatedly about the fighter once she entered the public consciousness, with a total of 36 posts, reposts, and reply posts over the course of 10 days. Look, it was clarified the day people went crazy, right? The fact that she went on about it 10 days. You know, if we're to start this in the U.S. and you're screaming defamation or whatever, you get a chance to correct. You do. I mean, that's part of it. You get a chance to correct the mistake. Going on 10 days would dig a pretty deep hole for you in a civil case, because the lawyer would say, listen, they gave us a chance for you to correct it, say it's not true, apologize, and move on. That's what we do here. You kept going, lady. Write another book or something, but now look what you've done. So she went on apparently for 10 days posting about this. In one such post, Rowling accused her of being a man enjoying the distress of a woman. This is a quote. Being a man enjoying the distress of a woman he's just punched in the head and whose life ambition has been shattered. Oh my, that's straight from Harry Potter. Wow. Look at us, man. See, this is what I tried to say that day. What is your problem? How can you get so worked up about this? How can you get so worked up? Of all the things going on, how can you get worked up about this? If you just narrow it down to the state of Texas, okay? Just narrow it down to the state of Texas. Are you that worked up about concussions on Friday nights? I bet not. I don't see anybody tweeting about that. Freaking out. The next kid that gets knocked out on a Friday night. Next one of your kids that gets knocked out on a Friday night. But this, an Algerian boxer. This is where we are. Okay, the furor around Khalif is rooted on the ongoing controversy over whether transgender participation in women's sports, which has become increasingly loud despite extremely few examples in any level of real competition. I've given up making that point. She is not transgendered by any definition of the word. She was identified female at birth, raised as a girl, and competed as a woman for 6 years before the Olympics. In fact, I believe she lost 9 fights to other women. But whatever. So here we are. Okay, so if you want to take a crack at it, why it is that this has successfully become a trigger, answer that. A trigger to the point that people would now face criminal charges. And then you can also comment on whether or not you think, maybe it wouldn't happen. And I would say, thankfully, it wouldn't happen. For all the knuckleheaded behavior we show in this country, and there's plenty, okay, we just get dumber and dumber. But for all the stuff that you might find disgusting that is said, stuff that I would say, anybody else would say, I'd say be careful what you ask for, making these things criminal. We've got enough problems. We've got enough people we throw in jail for a lot of stuff. They shouldn't be there. It's not worth the taxpayer's dime. Calling each other terrible names would not be reason to be in jail. But this didn't happen in L.A. in 2028. This happened in France, and it apparently rises to the level. What happens next is going to be pure comedy anyway. I mean, I don't know that I want to see J.K. Rowling in jail, but then again, I'd like to see the attempt. It'd be kind of entertaining. And once this makes its way to D. Trump, no matter what they try to do, no matter how they coach him, he's going to flip out and go off on this. So there you go. Are we proud of ourselves yet? Mission accomplished. Is my daughter, your grandkids, any kid safer today because of this entire circus?